Hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad you're here and welcome to another reading vlog. In today's video, I'm going to be attempting to finish the 13 different series that I'm in the middle of because I need to finish some of these before I keep starting new ones. I'm going to get so overwhelmed. But I think I'm going to make this a new series on my channel, so this will be part 1 of me attempting to finish all of these series I'm in the middle of. Unfortunately, I feel like this list is just going to grow, so hopefully this video will help me shorten it. I'm the type of person where I feel like I have to finish every series that I start, even if I don't love it, which is not true, and don't be like that. I'm trying to break that habit. I should be able to DNF a book and a series if I'm not enjoying it. I track all of my series. I track literally everything book related on my Notion, so I'll put it up right there. I'm thinking about doing a Notion tour eventually. If you're interested, please let me know. But I put literally everything that I do book related in this Notion because I am the type of person who loves to keep track of everything. So I do keep track of all my series in here, which is why I know I'm in the middle of 13. And I love looking at this because I can kind of tell which book is next and which one I want to read and what series I want to finish. So I'm actually in the middle of a book right now that is the second in the series. So I'm currently reading Iron Flame, and so it's the second book in the Fourth Wing series, which I actually just started this month. I don't normally go through series this fast. I'm kind of surprised I picked up the second one right away, but the first one ended on a cliffhanger and I was actually really excited to continue. So I'm in the middle of the second one. I think I'm like 70% through. It's a pretty long book, to be honest. I think like 700 pages. I don't own the physical one. I'm just reading it on my Kindle. So this is the first book that I'm going to be reading in this video. Unfortunately, this is not me completing the series because the third one comes out in January. So I will be revisiting this world January or sometime next year. But I will be finishing everything related to Fourth Wing that is out now, which will make me feel accomplished at least. But I have so many other books on my radar, so I'm looking at my Notion right now. Excuse my computer. One of them is The House in the Cerulean Sea series. The second book just came out recently this past year, and it is called Somewhere Beyond the Sea by TJ Klune. I really do want to read this book. I don't know why I keep putting it off because I loved the first book so much. It's just a cute, cozy fantasy with found family and a lot of happiness, and it really just makes you feel super happy and loved. So I really want to pick that book up. I don't know why I haven't yet. So that is one that I might pick up this video, but I'm not going to confirm on any because I'm such a mood reader and all of this is subject to change. But another one that I'm pretty interested in is the second book in the A Good Girl's Guide to Murder series. So Good Girl Bad Blood, I believe, by Holly Jackson. I really liked the first book and I almost wanted to just go straight into the second one, but I was a little bit sick and tired of thrillers, so I didn't pick it up, but I kind of want to. So that one's actually pretty likely because I like the idea that it's a YA book. I want something that's not very difficult to digest, and YA books are just that for me, and a YA mystery thriller is always so fun. I am highly considering this one, but I'm not sure. Then I have the second book in the Lightlark series, so Nightbane. It actually just came out on paperback, which is why I'm kind of putting it on a high priority because I love reading paperback books, and I was not going to pick up the hardcover, but now that it's paperback, I'm actually considering it. And Lightlark was a YA fantasy romantasy that I read actually at the beginning of last month, I believe, so pretty recently, and I did really enjoy it. It was not my favorite book, but it was very entertaining if you want to turn your brain off, and I am kind of in that mood right now, so it might give me just what I need. But I am currently reading a fantasy romantasy, so I might want to break from that because I have been going pretty hard on the romantasies recently. Maybe I want to break a bit, so I don't know if I'm going to pick that one up. Then I also have the Powerless trilogy, so I have Reckless by Lauren Roberts that I still have to read. Once again, another fantasy, so once again, I'm not too sure if I'm going to prioritize this one. I think I need a break from fantasy. One that I'm actually considering is the second book in the Beartown series. I was trying to save that for the winter months because it feels like a very wintry book. I think it's called Us Against You by Frederick Backman, but I kind of want a literary fiction book, and I know that this book is literary fiction, and I love Frederick Backman, so I know I'm going to love this book. It's just a heavier topic, more difficult to read and digest, so I don't really know. Really, I don't know for any of these. I'm just naming basically every series I'm in the middle of that I actually have a desire to continue reading, because some of these on here I just don't want to read right now or ever really. But another one is the Housemaid series. I don't know if I'm in the mystery thriller mood. I don't know if I'm really gonna like it, but I do have 2 more books in that series and apparently people enjoy them, so I don't know. I am contemplating that one because they are just so easy to get through. Mystery thrillers really just make you want to binge them, and I love a good binge of a book. And then there's also Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez. I'm not the biggest biggest romance fan, and I don't think this is necessarily a series, but I think it's interconnected standalones, but I do feel like I have to read them in order, and I feel like I have to read the series. I don't know why I'm like this. I don't know if I want to read this. I don't love romance, but once again, they're always just so easy to binge. But then the last one that I'm considering is the last book that's out in the Magnolia Park series. I love this series. I was saving this for wintertime too. I don't really know why. It also feels like a winter book to me, but it might give me just what I need, like a fun drama romance book. I just love the characters already. I love the world already, and it is the final book that's out for the foreseeable future. I know there are 2 more, but they have not been announced yet, so it really would feel like finishing off a series, whereas a bunch of these other ones are actually just like the second one in the series, but this would feel like really closing the book, the chapter of Magnolia Parks for a little while. I have a lot to think about. I have a lot to consider, but those are the books that are on my immediate TBR for finishing the series. But obviously we're starting off this video with Iron Flame because I'm already in the middle of it. So Iron Flame is the second book in the Fourth Wing series, and the Fourth Wing series follows kind of like a Divergent, How to Train Your Dragon kind of world where students go to school and they have to bond with a dragon and learn how to fly this dragon, and they get powers. It's just a romantic fantasy book that follows Violet and her experience, and obviously there is war and things that come up and all of that. I would say the first one did not have a lot of world building. It kind of just threw you in, but in a way that was understandable because there weren't a lot of new characters, but I think it did a disservice to the second book because they're introducing so many new worlds and characters, and I'm getting a little bit confused, to be honest. It's a much longer book. I actually don't think it's much longer, but it feels much longer, which is pretty telling. I think it's only like 100 pages more. It feels much longer. It's kind of hard to get through, to be honest. There are points of it that are very like jaw drop. I'm shocked that this is happening. I'm very entertained. I don't want to put it down. And then there are parts that are like, okay, who is this person that you just introduced without much backstory? Or there is like a tiny bit of backstory, but the world building was just not done correctly, that it's kind of hard to follow along. I know other people have made this comment where they just feel like the second book was rushed after the first one was so popular, and I definitely could see that, but I'm not thinking it's a bad book. Like, I'm definitely entertained and having fun. There are just pieces of it that are a bit confusing. If you kind of just like turn your brain off and forget about that stuff, it's still fun. You can understand the main premise of the story. You might just miss like tiny details, and that's how it feels going through this. Like, they'll name a character and it's like, okay, I don't know who they are, but I know what they're doing, so I guess that's fine. Like, I don't know, but I understand the main story, and I really enjoyed the first one a lot more, specifically because this one dragon was in it, and this one dragon has like not even been in this book, so it's a little bit sad. I'm on chapter 48 right now, so I'm 73% through this book. I hopefully will be able to get through it within the next few days. I have spent a lot of time on this book, more time than I have wanted to spend, and I think that just shows that I'm not really fully invested in it. I just haven't been like, wow, I really want to pick it up. I was at the beginning, so I don't want to totally write it off. The beginning of this book was a lot of fun for me. I think like past the 60% point, I kind of just got a little bit more confused because they add a whole new world into this book and a whole new characters, and I don't think the world building and the character building was done properly enough to really feel like you're ready for all of that. It's enough to enjoy it, but I have to say I'm kind of just ready to be done with it. So that's that on that, and I'm gonna keep reading Fourth Wing, Iron Flame, and I will keep you guys updated as I go along. And that's my cat in the back. She's so cute. Hi, Maisie. She's gonna ignore me, but look at her. It is currently Monday, and I think it's like 4:30 p.m. I had a really busy day today, so I've not filmed anything, and I haven't really read much either. I've kind of just listened to the audiobook. I went to work this morning, and then I had to leave work early, and I washed and dried my hair. Then I went to a doctor's appointment, and I'm finally back home, and my boyfriend's coming over. So I'm currently in the middle of chapter 55, and I'm 81% done with the book. Hopefully tomorrow I'll be 100% done with the book. Not to be mean, not to be mean. I'm like kind of over it. The same things that I mentioned last time are still bugging me. The world building, the new people, Violet and the main guy character, they just keep fighting over the same thing. I'm like, can we move past this? This is just miscommunication at its finest. I feel like it's immature, and it's just so annoying. And that's bugging me because it's just literally always them fighting. I don't want to blame it on the book. I'm going to blame it on the fact that I'm just kind of done with the series. This is why I cannot read series back to back. I'm gonna listen to the audiobook right now because my room is a mess and I have to clean it. I have laundry to put away and I want to make my bed. So I'm gonna clean and I'm gonna take you guys with me. I'll try to set up my camera. I don't really know where to put it, but I'll figure it out. Sometimes I forget just how complicated fantasy books are, but I feel like they just keep unraveling more and more things. Like, wow, it really just does keep going and going. I cleaned my room and I was listening to the audiobook, and second, based on this audiobook, I don't want to take back everything I just said because I still do stand with those opinions, except I feel like I was being a little bit mean on it because I'm actually back to a point where I'm enjoying it and I'm actually very excited to keep reading. This is my issue with long books, because one part of the long book just bores me and then I'm like done with the whole thing, and we're back to a point where something crazy is happening, and I love a good crazy thing where you're like, oh my gosh, how are they gonna survive? So I'm intrigued again and I'm ready to read again. Good morning, it's the next day. I'm currently on chapter 61 of this book, so I'm in the final stretch of this book. My thoughts have kind of stayed the same, to be honest. I'm getting a little bit annoyed with Violet. I don't know why, she just bugs me sometimes. But I have heard that the end gets more interesting. I think it's like the final war or battle, and it'll be very intense, which is good for me because then I can just rush through this book and hopefully start something new that I'm more in the mood for. I just think I'm doing this book a disservice currently by reading it, but I'm so close to the end that it doesn't even feel worth it to put it down because I'm literally like basically done. I just don't think this book is doing it for me, but I'm gonna finish and I'm gonna let you guys know my thoughts on my final reading. I'm about to go to work. It is 6:40 in the morning, so I have to leave pretty soon to go to work, and after that my boyfriend's coming over again tonight, but I'm gonna hopefully have some time to read before he's here and maybe read a little bit with him. I don't really know what our plans are, so hopefully I can definitely make some progress in this book. I'm definitely gonna listen to the audiobook on my drive because that's like my favorite thing to do, is totally immerse myself in a story while I'm driving to work. It makes the drive feel so quick. I will see you guys when I see you. Goodbye. Hi, it's after work now. I went to work. I had a long day at work. I'm so exhausted today, to be honest. But I ended up actually finishing. Okay. Anyways, I actually ended up finishing Iron Flame today, so that's one book down. I'm very excited to be done with this book with all love and happiness and peace towards this book and people who love it. But I have my thoughts. I always try to write them down because I feel like I'm gonna forget things or not know how to articulate them well. I am not the best at articulating. Overall, I feel like I've already gotten a lot of my thoughts across throughout this video of the fact that it was really good in the beginning. The first book ended on a cliffhanger, so I was super excited to get straight into it, and the first bit of this book was very exciting for me, and then it kind of slowed down a bit and they started introducing a lot of new people, a new world, and I don't think the world building was done well enough to genuinely do these worlds justice. I was not able to visualize them. I was getting them confused by all the other different names, and I just don't think that she created an immersive world like she did in the first one. It was pretty easy to get lost in it, and I noticed that mostly like halfway through the book. Maybe it was more like 60% through the book, and it kind of started to lose me at that point. But the last 3 chapters definitely picked up, were very intense. Like, you want to keep reading because a lot of stuff is happening. I think that the ending was really intense and definitely another cliffhanger. Like, I'm kind of tired of this world and this book, but the ending made me want to know what's going to happen because it definitely was a cliffhanger, and I'm very interested and excited for January now. And aside from the world spoiling just the characters themselves, the main characters were constantly bickering over the same thing, so it felt like we were getting the same conversations over and over and over again, and it was really playing into the miscommunication or almost lack of communication that was just kind of irritating to read about. I also feel like it didn't feel very authentic to the characters that we read in book 1. I also feel like a lot of people idolize, I know, the guy in this book, but he did a lot of things that I was like, this is just not good, and I don't know why people are thinking this is good. Maybe this is just a me thing, but I don't think he's the best. I don't think he's that great, and I don't think the main character's that great either. Like, sometimes they just really bugged me. The ending, definitely another cliffhanger, just like book 1. It actually made me want to pick up book 3, which is surprising considering how over this book I was, but I do want to know what happens and how it plays out. I will say I was a little bit confused by the ending. It was a little bit vague, so I had to go on Reddit and places to try and figure it out, but that honestly could be a me problem because I was a little bit checked out. Going on the Reddit pages, I was like, wow, there are a lot of theories and a lot of things that I probably missed, and I almost want to reread it. I'm not going to anytime soon, but it would be interesting to reread maybe the first one, which I enjoyed more, and see if there are any hidden things in there that I didn't realize. I love when authors hide things, and I feel like she might have had a few Easter eggs that I totally missed because I didn't even know about them. Overall though, my absolute favorite thing of this book, the series in general, are the dragons. They keep me going. Like, I love them. Everything they say, everything they do, like, you are perfect. The dragons, they sell it for me. Overall, I think I'm gonna give this book 3.5 stars. I gave the first one 4 stars, and this one just feels like it was a little bit less for me than the first one was. So I'm done with that book, and that means I've officially completed one of my series that I'm in the middle of until January at least. So I'm done, completely done, and now I'm moving on to another series. Once I finished Iron Flame, I was just craving another book. I had been craving another book like the whole time reading it, and I was just so ready, and I wanted something that I knew would be easy and fun. I couldn't think of any better book than Good Girl Bad Blood by Holly Jackson, the second book in the A Good Girl's Guide to Murder series. The first one was so fun for me. The ending was a little bit like disgusting. I hated the twist, but overall it was just such a fun book. I love the writing. It's very fun and very easy to read, very immersive, very, you just want to like keep reading, page turner. So I just love the way she writes. It's easy too. Like, it's a YA book. You don't have to think, you just get to have fun, and I wanted that. And I'm currently only on chapter 3, so I'm like barely into this book, but so far I'm having a fun time. I don't know how I totally missed the fact that this book is about a podcast. In the first book, Pip and Ravi work together to solve a murder, but in the second book, apparently they made a podcast of that book, and I love, number one, I love podcasts in books. I don't know why, they just are so fun for me, so I'm already excited about that. I don't even know if it's a big part of this book, but also another thing is this reminds me of Only Murders in the Building, which is the podcast about the murders, and that's my favorite show ever. So really, could it get better? I don't know. So I'm already having so much fun with this book, so this is going to be the next book that I'm going to pick up and read in this video, and I will keep you updated as I go along with what I read and my thoughts, and hopefully I can finish it in this video, and then I can make progress on 2 different series that I'm in the middle of, which is so good because I'm in the middle of too many, and this will help me for sure. I will talk to you guys later. It's the next day. I'm currently at my friend's house after work. We're going book shopping today. That's why I'm here, but I'm still reading Good Girl Bad Blood. I think I'm on chapter 5. It's starting to pick up and get interesting again. She's kind of redoing a whole solving a missing persons case, just like in the first one she was solving a murder. So we're going back to the whole like interviewing people and getting to listen to the interviews, which I love doing because they have different voices for everyone, and it's just very interactive, very fun to read and listen to. It's giving me everything that the first book gave me, and I really enjoyed that one. So I'm actually having a lot of fun with this book, and I really like it so far. For some reason my Kindle is being so annoying and it won't tell me what percentage I am through the book, so I don't know how far in this book I'm in. I don't think very far at all. I'm still at the very beginning of trying to figure out what happened to Jamie. Jamie, one of Pip's best friend's older brothers, went missing, and they want Pip to do the same thing that she did with Sal and Andy and kind of investigate the case, see if she can figure out where he went and what happened to him. and so far I'm having a lot of fun. I love the characters, I love the format, I love the audiobook, and I just think it's a very fun, easy read, which is kind of what I'm in the mood for now after reading 2 hefty fantasy books back to back. I need a little bit of a break, keeping me on the edge of my seat while still being super easy and fun to read. So I'm actually going to end up reading a little bit more tonight, and I will update you guys with anything I have to say. I've been so bad at updating this video and updating everyone on what I'm doing and what I'm reading. So today is Sunday. I don't even know, I think the last time I talked was Thursday when I went book shopping with my friend. I have read a little bit, like quite a bit I think, but not too much. I'm still reading Good Girl Bad Blood. I'm currently on chapter 30 and I'm 75% through it. I have a lot of thoughts, I have a lot of things I want to share about it. I have just been busy the past few days and I feel like I have not updated properly, but after I went book shopping, which I have a vlog for that, it should be out already, I got a lot of books. I didn't buy the Good Girls Guide to Murder series. I do want to eventually own these books because I'm actually really enjoying them and having so much fun with it, but all of them have that like stupid sticker that you can't even remove, and it just talks about like the next book, and I really hate that, and I hate that they do that. I just want to know where I can buy them without that. If anyone knows where to buy them, just like the plain cover, please let me know. But we didn't really read much that night like I said we were gonna. We actually ended up watching Love Island Australia, but that's okay. Then Friday I went to work and I went out to dinner for my dad's birthday, so I was busy that night, but I did end up reading a little bit more, and then I like passed out. I was so exhausted. And then Saturday I edited and posted a video, so I was working like all morning and I didn't really have time to read much until the afternoon, and then I hung out with my boyfriend, and I have a few clips of that. We went out to eat. I think I'll put them in here so you might have already seen them. We went out to eat, we got salmon. It was disgusting. I just felt like it was undercooked. They kept sending it back to me and I was like, I don't want to eat this because I get very scared about eating raw food, and it was like pink and shiny and I was like, I don't want to eat this, I'm scared. That was the dinner that we went to, and I was reading a lot. Like I read the whole car ride, I read the whole car ride back. I was just so invested in the book and having so much fun. And then today I woke up early, got breakfast with my friend, and then I went to the mall because I have to get a wedding guest dress because I'm going to a wedding next weekend. So I had to go buy a dress for that. Then I had to get my cat wet food. I had to go to the grocery store. I had to get vitamins. I was running errands all morning. Here I am finally with time to update and talk about my book and my reading. As per usual, I put them in my notes app because when I think of it, I just need to write it down or else it's gonna like leave my brain instantly. Like I said, I'm like 75% through with this story. I have to say I am loving this just as much, if not more, than the first book. I'm now like rethinking my rating for the first book because I just really love these books. They're so much fun. I recommend these to everyone, and I love these books because of how interactive the mystery is. It really feels like a whodunit, like you were trying to figure out at the same time you're also trying to dissect all these clues and figure out what happened. And I love that the clues are really laid out to you well in the book. Like they have pictures of things, they have Reddit posts, they have emails, so it's really entertaining to read the book, but it's also entertaining to listen to the audiobook. So I recommend doing both at the same time, like reading and listening to the audiobook. That's what I've been doing because they have different voices and they still do that whole podcast thing because this is about a podcast and Pip is doing all of this for her podcast. So they have different voices and it sounds like the podcast intro and everything, and I love that. It's a very entertaining audiobook. I think that they explain the mystery very well. It's very complicated. There are a lot of different parts to it, but everything ties together at the end. I really have no idea where it's gonna go. Last book I had theories and I was actually correct about them. This book I really have no idea where it's gonna go, so I'm very excited to figure it out. It's very much like you just don't want to put it down. I did not want to put it down at all. Things just keep happening and you just keep uncovering new things and different leads, and you really are just like constantly thinking about what does this connect to, what does this mean. And it's fun because the audience is also listening to Pip's podcast at the same time, so when you're getting like Reddit posts of their thoughts and their ideas throughout the book. It's a YA book, but it really doesn't feel like too immature for me because I'm not the audience for it, but I'm still enjoying it and having so much fun fun with it. I definitely would recommend this book to anyone who is currently in a slump. This is like the best book to get you out of a slump, I feel like, because it's just so fun. It's like reminding me why I love reading so much and why it's just such a fun activity to do. And I feel like this book does a really good job at like understanding the banter of high school kids. It feels very accurate to the age group. It doesn't feel like they're younger or older than they're supposed to be. And I also love when they do interviews, the conversations just seem very natural, very unscripted. Like they'll say they'll pause. It just feels very realistic, like a real interview with someone. Sometimes they'll say stuff like, can I say this now? Or like, are you recording yet? Just very real things. It doesn't feel like a very scripted book. It feels very genuine. Like this is a genuine interview, genuine podcast, and I really love it. I'm having so much fun with this book. I'm gonna continue reading it, and I really want to finish it today or tomorrow because I'm just having so much fun with it. This is hopefully gonna get me closer to finishing another series, and honestly I'm having so much fun with it. I don't know, I might just pick up the next one right away. I will keep you guys updated. I'm gonna read a little bit more right now, and I'll talk to you later. Next day, I just got off work. I'm so exhausted. I want to take a nap more than anything. Before I do that, before I take a nap, I want to update you guys because I actually ended up finishing Good Girl Bad Blood, and I have opinions, I have thoughts. Let me share them. My cat wants attention. But like 99.9% of my opinions are the same as the last time I talked. I still think the book is so fun, and it's just so fun to read. I love the way it's written. I just love everything about it because it's just so easy to binge and to read. But I will say something that I noticed with both of her books is that the twists just feel a little bit icky. Like both of them just felt a little like, ew, that's really what it is. It's kind of like, I don't love that. And it happened with this book again, but I do feel like she is really good at coming up with dark, twisted outcomes. Like I did not predict either of them. I was shocked for both of them. I think I'm gonna end up giving it 4 stars. Honestly, when I was reading this book, I was thinking I might end up even giving it more than the first one. I was really having so much fun, but I do think at the end of the day, it's just a 4-star series for me. Like it is so much fun. It's genuinely so fun. I would recommend this to anyone. I just don't always love the way that it ends and the twist. I think I preferred the twist in the first book over this one. This one felt like even more outlandish and icky and weird. But honestly, I really enjoyed the series, and I'm actually very excited to pick up the next one. Part of me just wants to go straight into the next one, but I feel like I shouldn't because I feel like then I won't like it as much and I need to add a gap between them. But it really was a ton of fun, and I do recommend this to anyone who's interested in it or wants like a book to get you out of a slump. This will get you out of a slump for sure, and it's so easy, so quick to read. I recommend tandem audiobook and reading it because I love both of them. And yeah, I feel like those are my thoughts. I kind of already said everything that I was thinking in my last clip, so that all still stands. I still love all of those different aspects of the book, and the only thing that I really didn't like about it was just the twist and how it was a little bit more on the icky side. I didn't think any of it was slow. I didn't think any of it was like poorly done. I think all of it was good. One of my favorite things about her thriller mysteries specifically is that there are a lot of different layers to it and a lot of different things that come out while you read, but at the end they all tie together. Like it all makes sense. And I feel like sometimes mystery thrillers leave a lot of open-ended questions and a lot of things that just don't feel completed, but everything feels like it makes sense when you read these books. Like at the end there's always like a pretty bow that it's tied with, and I really personally enjoy that because I like feeling like all these different things came together and I finally understand what they all meant. So those are my thoughts on Good Girl Bad Blood. I've officially read 2 books, getting me towards finishing my series. So that's all I'm gonna end up doing in this video because it is actually next week, so it went over the week just a little bit. But thank you guys so much for watching and for being here. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and comment down below and subscribe, and I will hopefully see you in the next one. Bye!